Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Can y'all hear me? Hi, how you guys doing? Someone. Hi Thomas on guitar. Hi Dominic, Savio. Welcome, Dominic. Where you from, Dominic? Hi, David. How are you? How are you guys doing? Ah, not enough lights here. Right. You should be bare. Friday? Yeah, it's Friday. It's Saturday morning for me. It's 12:30 in the morning. Hi, Bear. How are you, Bear? Dominic, you're in India. Which part of India are you from, Dominic? From Bombay? I know who you are. Someone. Scriptease. I remember you told me that you changed your name. I know who you are. How are you doing, Bear? Good? I just rushed over to the stream because I was updating my Helix. You can see that it's not here because I have rehearsal tomorrow in church. So I was updating my Helix. Found out that I have to update the line 6 edit before I can do anything, because I had some like really great patches for worship songs, you know, with all that ambience, reverb, and so I had to port it into my Helix. So guitar and everything is right at the hall. So we're going to go next morning. Tomorrow I gotta wake up, like I gotta be out of the house at 8 a.m. Yep. I have rehearsals at 9 to 11, so it's gonna be a tough day, but it's okay. I can always come back and take a nap and then do one more video. I'm sure you love your Helix. Living in the past. Mumbai, okay. Alright, Dominic. Welcome, welcome. Oh, David, you're from Oregon? Cool. Alright. Scriptease. I suppose it's getting hotter right now. Yeah, spring is here. Summer soon. You know, difference here. It's always hot here. So today I'm gonna have like a little bit of a preview to a couple of videos that I'm gonna do next week. I had an interesting week, I guess. I have an interesting 2 weeks. I mean, I didn't do any live stream last week, so just to get you guys up to speed, I met up with my former boss. Right, so I'm not gonna say his name. But he's Alex. Okay, his name is Alex, and I first met him. We worked together when I was 23 years old, and he was so good to me. He took care of me all along, and I was in an engineering department selling centrifugal pumps. So we were doing like really big projects like water station, sewage pumps and all sorts of stuff. And he was really nice to me for that 1.5 year that I was there with him and the whole department. So we had a lot of fun, and he didn't know that I played guitar then because I was moonlighting back then. I was like working on weekends with my band. And I didn't even know that. I knew that he likes music, but I didn't know that he had an interest in guitars. So after I left the company, I became a full-time musician, and he came to my gigs. Well, he came to the place that I played like once or twice, and we kind of lost touch for many decades. And recently, about a year and a half ago or 2 years, I reconnected with him on Facebook, and it's very interesting. I've seen how he aged, and I found out that he had left the company and went to set up his own company. So he has his own engineering firm, and he made it big. He made it good. So he had his own studio right now, and he started playing guitar at the age of 60, right? So he's like 73 or 72 this year, so he's like 10, 11 years older than me, yeah. And we got connected, and he invited me to his studio last week, and I went to his studio. I saw the amount of gear that he had. I'm going like, man. He has all the stuff. He had like the Hank Marvin guitars, from Fender, the custom shops. He had a couple of custom shop Mel Haggard and Tallies and whatnot, and a whole lot of stuff. And he had the original Burns guitar from England, not the ones that are made in China. And he had pedal steel guitar in the studio. That's kind of mind-boggling to me. I'm still trying to come to terms with it even now. Matchless amps, twin reverbs, Vox amps, the works. And he has almost everything. And I saw his passion for music, and he was telling me that he started playing when he was 60 years old. So yeah, so I was so pleased to reconnect with him, and yeah, and he bought his first PRS yesterday. So I guess he's gonna have fun soon, and that's what I've been doing. So I went to the studio. I saw this beautiful Telecaster, this custom built, or rather a master built. This is from Thorn. This is a Telecaster, kind of heavy relic, but it's so light. He was telling me that it was pretty light, and when I carried it, it was really light. I don't know how light is this. Let's see. .1 kg. That is really light for a Telecaster. Now this guitar kind of proved to me that I might be wrong about the weight. That I always believed that a heavier guitar would sound better, but this guitar really sounds great. When I was playing it, I'm thinking it's because of the pickups, because it's got really unique custom built pickups from Thorn. a Telecaster should sound like. And this is like the bridge pickup. It has that weight, you know, and it's kind of amazing. Nice. I was jamming in the studio last week with this guitar, and I really had a ball of a time. It's just, I mean, the neck is kind of chunky. This is like a C shape, a traditional C. It's not like a baseball bat, but there's a chunk to it. But I guess that's where the magic is. This is the bridge pickup, you know. I'm going straight to the amp. There's no compressor, there's nothing, but just so well balanced. I don't know. I'm kind of confused right now. You know, so my whole understanding of you know, having a heavy guitar would mean a good tone. There is some truth to it. I'm sure there is some truth to it, but I guess a lot of it has to do with the pickups and the wood, you know. I have the specs, but it's in the case, so I'll probably, when I do a review, you know, when I do the review, I'll let y'all know, like, you know, what's in this guitar. Just like how the bridge pickup sounds, like, you know, it's that weight. And I think this is strung with 09, so I'm pretty sure that the original came in with 010s. So Alex kind of strung it with 09 because he was thinking that it would be hard to play, but I guess with 010s this guitar will really shine. Alright, Scripties, you got it? Maple body? I don't know, I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether it could be. It could be. But I don't think so. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'll have to look at the specs. It's just kind of relic all the way here, so this is like, you know, if you can see the grip, you know. So this is like really smooth. How much does this cost? This is like what, 9 grand sing? It's what, about 7,500 US, around that. I think he paid about 9 grand, 9.8k back in the days, you know. So, and you know, the thing is that I've reviewed like a whole lot of like 5 Sire guitars, right, ranging from the hollow body or the semi-hollow to the Strats to the Teles, and I just did a review of the Les Paul kind of thing. and they all weigh heavy. I mean, they are really heavy. Like the last review that I just did a couple hours ago, that Les Paul weighs about 4.4 kg. It's like 4.4 kg. That's heavy. Yeah. Anyway, okay, coming back to you guys now. What's that, Dominic? Do you check your Patreon messages? Yeah, I do, but I've not recently, so I'll do it later on. Hi, Carl from West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain. Welcome to the stream, Carl. Thomas on guitar, yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, I don't really like relic guitars. Seriously, I like my guitars brand new. But the sound of this guitar is something else, you know. Pooh is filthy. I heard they started using rosewood to hide the filthy fingers. How are you doing, Pooh? Right, so you guys want to buy me coffee? Go ahead and buy me a coffee, a cup of coffee. There's super sticker, super chat. Hi, Chris. What is this, right? So I'm charging my pen from my iPad because I'm gonna start making notes tomorrow because during rehearsal things will get changed around. Yeah. What's this? Alright. Hi, Jared. You love your journeyman relic tally. Wow, I don't know if I could do a heavier relic than that. I know. Like I mentioned, like a couple. Wow, I think about 2 videos back. That Singapore, where I'm staying right now. Yeah, the government had decided enough is enough. We're gonna open up the place. All the night establishments, like clubs and stuff like that. Even the churches. So the churches are back to normal. Attendance is back to normal, like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. So it was good to be in church. It's good to see my brothers and sisters. But at the same time, the musicians are like heaving a sigh of relief because they can finally go back to work after 2 years. So the clubs are opening, but they are caught a bit unaware because the government just came out the announcement that okay, you guys are free to do business. So they're short of staff, so they're now looking for waiters and waitresses and musicians. And it's good to see that some of the musicians are rising up to meet the challenge, and they have gone out and playing gigs and stuff like that. We've seen a couple of young ones too. So yeah, I'm kind of happy that musicians are working again. For me, I don't play in the clubs at night, so yeah, don't really bother me much. I mean, it doesn't really affect me much. For my gigs, I'm still caught up because, China and Taiwan, they're still really careful about the COVID cases, so they're still clamping down, and it's kind of hard to travel back and forth in a way because you have to be quarantined and all that. But I'm just waiting because we might just start a tour later on in the year, hopefully, fingers crossed. By God's grace that we can start touring again come September, I hope September, October, but not with George Lamb. I'm with another guy, with my good brother Eric, so I'm just waiting for that. Pooh busy, but that's a good thing. I hope. Oh, I'm okay. I'm doing okay. I just finished my 2 years 2 years in production Christmas album. I just finished it a couple of days ago, so I'm okay. So I have work lined up. I'm just taking my own sweet time, trying to get things in perspective. And meeting Alex, my former boss is like a blessing. It took a lot of time because it was good to catch up and everything. Yep. Bruno, hi John. The Sire reviews were was very costly, but I'm very happy about the guitar. So, okay, don't tell me. Yeah, you bought some of them. But they're great guitars, you know. So it's no love lost, you know. It's great. Yeah, I don't get the relic stuff. I also like my stuff new. Could you imagine spending 50,000 on an already dented car with rest? It's silly. Yes. And guys actually spend 50,000 for a relic guitar. So go figure, you know. Who I offer speed speed relicking, but once they see the torch chain wire brass and brushes will bend their back away slowly. Yeah, you forgot the acid, man. you forgot the sulfuric acid, right? Gerard, that's fair, but I think of it like I don't worry as much about bringing my relic guitar. No, that's not the way to go. I like my brand new guitar, and when I take it out on the road, you know, and knocks here, nicks there, you know, hey man, I love it. I have my old Fender Japan guitar that's been with me since 1984, right? So it's been with me for decades, and it's heavily relic, but I did it myself. No one did it for me. I just love it because it still plays well, stays in tune, you know, so I like I said, you know, I'd rather have myself doing the relicking. Hi Logify, how are you? Arizaku, where you from? Favorite Harley Benton guitar currently? Favorite Harley Benton guitar currently? I will have to say it would be the sparkly guitar that I have. Is that a sparkly guitar there? Yeah. That you know, the Fusion Pro HH. Yeah, that's my favorite guitar so far. You take care, Pooh. Ian Guitar Shack, I like the Sire Larry Carlton LP style type video. I like the black with gold hardware. Very tempting to purchase. Initially, I wanted to have the gold top, you know, but they didn't have it in stock. So the gold top is pretty interesting because I was hoping that they'll get one with the P90s. I don't know whether Sire has the gold top with the P90s. I'm not too sure about it. Yep. An ex-girlfriend, right? Cool. All right. Bye, Pooh. Oh, and I bought a new coffee machine. So my old one broke down, so I bought an espresso. I bought a Virtual Plus. So great coffee. I'm drinking great coffee. I think I'm drinking less coffee than what I used to, because the other machine was really watered down. I kind of had 4 to 5 cups a day, but nowadays we do espresso is like 2 cups a day, and I'm already like, you know, that's it, you know, before my heart starts, you know, jumping out of my chest. So, you know. So that's the tally. I'm not gonna stay here long tonight. Yeah, because I need to get some sleep. Like I said, I wake up at 8. The funny thing about this guitar is the grain of the guitar. Like, even though it's relic, I can see that it's brand new. So it's not like really relic, you know, like, you know, guys will burn marks into it. This is like, if I show it to you, I hope you can see this. Like, you know, see the grain that is. You can see this, right? So it's like the grain on the wood is very different. It's like it's relic, but I don't know. It's like, can you see that? Can you see that? Okay, my face is like, this camera is like taking prominence over my face, so I gotta cover up my face. Then you can actually focus on the fretboard. Can you do that? So you able to do that? Yeah? I don't know. Maybe just all the way up here. Still focusing on my hair. Oh man, I gave up. Yeah, it's like, it's relic from far, but close up, you know, it's not really relic. It's like kind of new. Interesting. It's really interesting. I'm sure this is a maple neck. probably chambered. I don't know. So, apart from this, I finally have in my hand a Shijie guitar. Yeah, so some of you guys have been asking me about when I'm going to review one of these. So I finally found a shop in Singapore that does the Sire guitars too. So they actually bring in the Shijie guitar. Now I'm kind of disappointed they have this traditional string tree, which I don't really like. The Sire guitars, if you can remember, they don't have string trees. They all have like locking tuners, staggered locking tuners, and that's the way to go these days. So this is a Shijie guitar, almost reminiscent of the guitars from Harley Benton, the Fusion Pro. You have the windmill truss rod adjustment. This is a single humbucker, weighs a bit. I'm thinking that this is like a 3.65 or 3.7. Nice white strip here. Roasted maple neck. It's probably alder. Yeah. Nice tremolo system. Yeah, this looks like a bit of like a Goto lookalike, but more finer, Nice. Well, I don't know how it sounds like. Let's give it a whirl. Not too bad. So this strum is 0/10. Humbucker. Yeah, sounds good. Great sounding Shijie guitar. Right, so it's pronounced as Shijie. Okay, so in Chinese, I guess it means the world. Shijie. Nice. Very reminiscent of the guitars from, like I said, many guitar makers. So nowadays, let me just check where is this made in. Don't tell you where this is made from. Are they made in China? Could be from China, could be from Indonesia. What does it say? Crafted. What does it say? Guys can see. Crafted for comfort. Custom guitar, Shijie. Right. Crafted by Shijie Guitar Works. You have a serial number. These are like really old Clusen style tuners, really nice. Nope, no indication of where this is made. I'm guessing this is made in China. Alright. But the quality of this is very reminiscent of some of the guitars I've seen from Corona, for example. Almost very similar. And the grassroots from ESP, yeah, almost similar. So kind of like the same flavor, probably from the same sort of factories. I don't know, but they're great. They're great factories, and these are like the same. These are like roll off edges, so it's very comfortable. Yeah, I don't feel any like protruding frets like some of the earlier Harley Bentons. They're kind of sharp. This is like really comfortable and nice. Yeah. So now I know why some of you guys like really dig the Shijie guitars. Hey Jean-Philippe, bonjour, comment allez-vous? Love your videos. I hesitate to take lessons because I'm afraid it doesn't suit me. Would you advise me to take guitar lessons or learn to play songs and learn that way? I would advise you to take guitar lessons if provided you have a good teacher. You gotta find a teacher. You might have to go looking for a couple of teachers because some teachers are not suited for you. And you got to find a teacher that understand what you want to do, what you want to play, and understand your progress and how you progress, and be able to be truthfully tell you whether your timing sucks or you're not focusing or you're and focusing is one of the things that a lot of my students sometimes they do suffer from that because they tend to be like a cat when you have a light, and the cat will go up chasing. They tend to be like that, especially when you give them homework to do. If you give them stuff to do, some of them would not be concentrating on what they're supposed to do, and they get sidetracked. And a lot of young students, not this batch of students that I have, I teach on Sunday, so this batch of students that I have, they are really great. Most of them are mature enough to know that they're paying good money, so they want to learn the best way possible, and they're very patient. But I've met some students who are very impatient. They want to get A to Z really fast, but that's not possible. The whole thing about a guitar teacher is to show you the way. The guitar teacher, he can be a really good player, but he must be someone who knows where is your weak point and what you're bad at, and to let you improve on that area before you go on to the next step. Guitar playing is something where sometimes we hit the wall. When you hit the wall and we cannot improve, we call it a plateau. So we need a teacher to get us off our ass, to get us off the plateau, so that we're able to okay, I know this, so I can just move on. Myself, I don't have any guitar teachers. I wish I had a good one. I couldn't afford one, so I had to learn everything by myself. And there's so many mistakes that I learned by myself that I have to unlearn. And hence, you will need to do that too. You have to go through that journey if you're really interested in playing guitar. So something to think about. Vault Dweller, I wish I could stay longer. You're still a badass. Well, thank you. Thank you. Wow. All right. Don Dickfish. Hello, John and friends in the chat. Greetings from Germany, like ever. Hi. Keith. Hi, John. Always a pleasure to catch you live. listening to a guy with such good attitude on life goes a long way. My internet has been down for 2 days. Just came back on. Here you are. Cool. Glad you can join us. Sure, Jean. No problem. Yeah. Hi, Keith. A different Keith. So this Keith is from Wisconsin. Hi, how are you? Who had a coffee machine, a brand new coffee machine? Oh, Ian. Ian's Guitar Shack. I just bought an old style coffee. What's this? Percolator? Yeah? Didn't have coffee at home. Happy guy now. I used to do my coffee with the French press, right? So I had the grinder, so I will buy beans and I'll grind it myself. French press it. It was fine for a while, but it just takes up a whole lot of time. And when I wake up, I just want to have coffee straight off because then I can do other stuff. So, yeah. I'll see. I don't know. Maybe I'll just go back again and start doing my French press again. Hi, Logify. Dick fish means thick fish. Fat fish. Hi, Todd. How are you? Which part of UK are you from? Hi, Carl Kilo. A lot of new faces here today and tonight. This morning. Calvin Claus, I watch your videos to see the guitar reviews, but then I end up getting sidetracked by your music intro and forget I was already watching. It's okay. Yeah, we all been there. Yeah. I do the same thing too. Sometimes I get caught up in the playing and I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Yeah, I need to head out. I'm at work as well. I'm gonna catch you next time. Hopefully, use the money and send for gas in your submarine. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Scripties. Oh yeah, thank you for the coffee. For gas in my submarine. Hi, Jim. David K. Hi, John from Preston in the UK. Hope you're well. I'm at work, so your positivity is keeping me going. I hope so. I was like looking at some of the videos pertaining to the PRS studio. The PRS studio has like single humbucker, but it's kind of weird because the pickup configurations is a little bit different. And I was looking at it and I was going like, that's interesting. So I'm just waiting for Miss Janet to pass it, to pass some of this to me once the stock arrives, because it's taking a long time for PRS to kind of like keep up with the orders. And there's another guitar that I'm actually it piqued my interest, and that is so you guys would know, that will be the PRS custom. Sorry, let me correct myself. It's a PRS standard 24. The one with the satin, the tobacco, McCarthy tobacco, finish. I think I like the guitar a lot because I had it here. I play it, I review it, and I still love it. I go back and watch the videos, and I'm thinking like, this guitar really sounds great. It looks great. It has a certain kind of look. It's not a typical PRS kind of a guitar thing. It has a certain kind of look, and there's no birds inlays, and just dot inlays. And I just love the finish of the satin finish. So I don't know. My heart is itching. So I don't know. I gotta fight that itch. Lee Harris, hi John. I'm in love with my Sire T7 FM. Alright. I don't want a American Fender Tele anymore. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the Sire guitars. Now, after reviewing 5, was it 5 or 6 Sire guitars, I come to the conclusion that it's about the whole experience. It's not just the sound; it's the whole experience of playing those guitars, because they're, well, supposedly they are made to the specification of Mr. Carlton himself. What they're saying is that the pickups and everything has been approved, or rather been, this is what Larry Carlton's pickup should sound like. I don't know. I'm not too sure about that, but the whole experience of it, like, playing on that guitar, the weight, the neck shape is a medium C, or rather a C-shaped neck. It's not even a slim C, or whatever, a modern C, just a C, and it's comfortable, but it has a bit of a girth to it. Apart from that, everything is about the same. Like, you had the meter jumbo frets, roasted maple fretboard, but the whole experience of playing that guitar with that neck and the heavy body and the pickups. So this is the thing about the Sire guitars that I've take away. It's an experience. It's an overall package, and that's what makes it so attractive. Some guitars have like really great pickups. Some guitars have really nice guitar wood and everything and neck, but pickups koozie, and vice versa. Some have like nice pickups, but poor appointments. But the Sire kind of laid down everything almost to a T. It's just the experience. It's very different from the Shijie guitar. Shijie guitar, I look at it, and I'm just playing this now. First off, I can tell you that it's a clinically really a clinically clean guitar. Everything is like made to specification. Like, I see the bone nut there, which is really well cut. Pickups are really nice. They're not extraordinary, but they're nice. The roasted fretboard and everything, the appointments on the tuners, they are all good quality. They're not like a slipshod kind of thing, and that's Shijie guitar. So this is where the brand is, so that's what the attractiveness of the brand Shijie is from. So I know because I haven't played on a Shijie guitar before. It's the first time. And for the side guitars, they had this whole thing going on. Even the humbuckers sounded really good. So interesting, yeah. And I went down with Alex because he wanted to pick up a. Alex is my former boss, so he wanted to pick up a PRS guitar. So I was with him. I went down to see Miss Jeanette, and at the same time, I passed by a shop that carries a brand of a guitar that is from Italy, and I think the brand name is called Peyote, if I'm mistaken. A really interesting guitar. So I've hooked up with the boss, with the owner of the shop, and we have our communications. So hopefully I'll get these guitars here to kind of review and play. Interesting because the body wood of these guitars are made from wine barrels. And they are like interesting shade, because of the acidic content or whether, I don't know, whatever contents they have in the barrel, in the wine barrel, through age, through years, they age, and the wood kind of like get discolored after a while, but it's interesting, So, yeah, I mean, I think that would be interesting guitar to kind of like try out. Sorry. Oh wait. Chris David. I think that's one of. I want it. Because I'm a sucker for HSS configuration. Okay. And you're still around, Striptease. I thought you went to work. PRS S2 standard 24 satin McCarthy tobacco Sambers. Alright, bye. Chris David about the PRS studio, I mean. Yeah, okay. Hi, Igor. From Mexico City. Hola. Lee Harris, yes, as soon as you hold a Sire, it gives off luxury vibes instantly. Well, I'm not too sure about luxury vibes. I'm more I'm more into. I think it's more like a vintage vibe more than anything else, because I know that Larry Carlton fancies all his vintage guitars. You know, his old 57 Strat or 58. I forgot. He's got a real old Les Paul. So I think it's more of a vintage vibe that I get when I pick up a Sire guitar. You know. Kevin Claus, I've been on the fence about getting an Epiphone or Sire H7. I think you convinced me to go with the Sire. Yeah. Go for it. Yeah. I think you won't go wrong. I don't think you will go wrong. You're getting the H7. David K, have you had chance to check out the new Paul Gilbert Purple FRM 300? We just see if you pick one up and do a review. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. I have no idea what you're talking about. Are they from Ibanez? Or I know there's certain guitars that I can't get my hands on, so I'm limited to certain guitars are in my little bubble, you know, so of acquaintances. So yeah, stuff. Hi John, thanks for your Facebook message yesterday. You wrote me to subscribe. Hi. Yeah, I wrote a couple of guys yesterday. Yeah, because you were requesting to be a friend. Yeah, right. Okay, from Ibanez. All right, David. Yeah, Ibanez is one of the brands that I have difficulties in laying my hands on. Let's see. I can show you guys what I was talking about. Peyote guitars. Hope I had the spelling correctly. I don't think I had a guitar. Peyote. I couldn't find it. Anyway, you guys will see it soon enough. The Line 6 Catalyst getting good reviews. Gonna try one out this weekend. For non-valve amp, it's meant to be up there with the Katana. This is a non-valve amp, and I love this amp so much. Yeah. And there is a new amp that's coming out from Black Star, so watch out for it. It's really nice. Yeah. No problem, stuff. No problem. My English is not very good too, so there's no need to apologize. Yeah. So I was saying there's a new amp coming out from Black Star. In fact, there are two amps that are coming out from Black Star, so very different amps. All I can say is that they're tube amps. They sounded really nice. So I think it's going to be released somewhere in May. Yeah. So yeah, watch out for it. J Bin? Do you EQ and use effects on most of your demo? Love to hear demos raw. Well, go make some yourself and hear demos raw. I don't see the point of playing something raw just because I want it raw, because I'm playing the guitars like how I would do it on a live situation. So unless you guys play raw all the time without reverb, without delay when you're playing live, if you do play live. So when I play live, I have like most guitarists who are working, they have tons of stuff, reverb, delay or whatever. I try to keep them to a minimal when I'm doing the demo section, not the song section. But I try to, but sometimes it just kind of like it's a bit too dry. So I mean, reverb, just reverb. So not a whole lot of reverb. I cut down my reverb a lot during the demo section. So well, that is the way it is. So. No worries. So wherever you are, either in the UK or in the States, in the state where you're living in the area that we are living in, are you guys like are the clubs open? Are there gigs? Are there like concerts being held? How is it like? In Singapore, there's still a long way. Which update do you do on your Helix? Great question. I posted it on Facebook. See how I can get the picture down for you. Can you see this? It's 3.15. Yeah, 3.15. Version 3.15. And do it, get that update, Bear, because it has a whole lot of stuff in it, like really great reverb, delays, all the ambience kind of thing. I love it. I think all the church musicians going, oh yes, because all the Strymon delays and whatnot, they all almost sound alike, all there in the new update. So go get them. Thomas, on guitar, do you use a lot of fuzz pedals? No, I don't. Yeah. I'll come back to you, Thomas, on this because there is a something I want to talk to you guys about. David K, everything is opening in UK. I'm back gigging, which is amazing. Was away for too long. Great to hear that, David. I'm so jealous. Great. Bear, in Arizona, most places are open and masks are optional. Right. Same here. We can go around walking around without a mask, but once we get into indoors, we have to put on a mask. So. Kind of redundant anyway, but our Lee Harris, I'm from the UK, but I live in the Canary Islands. Whoa, everything is open here. Yeah, all right, cool. nice place. Jimbin, USA, New York, gigs opening much better than last year. Okay, cool, good to hear that. Calvin, things are starting to open up when I'm at Wisconsin, USA. Great. Yeah, I think we can all see the light at the end of the tunnel, right? Gym, home studio, everything is open. Lots of touring acts that comes to Florida early as we are open the entire time, aside from a 30-day period. Okay. Bear, I have the update. Thanks. I was going to use it for the first time this weekend at church. Yeah, you'll love it. I'll play around with it before you start start using it in church. Yeah, play around with it and get all your balance and everything. So okay, coming back to who's this guy? Thomas on guitar. Do I use a lot of fuzz? I don't use a lot of fuzz. In fact, I don't use a lot of overdrive unit or overdrive effects unless I'm playing through a clean amp. Like if I have a Vox amp, for example, and there's only a clean channel, for example, then I would utilize the overdrive pedals that I have, but most of the sounds that you hear on my demos or on my YouTube videos, they're all through the Line 6 Helix native plugin. So what I have there is strictly very simple. I'm just using the overdriven sound of the amp. Like if I were to use a what you call that? What are those amps? The Kali, the Dumpo amp, for example, and I would not utilize a overdrive unit on that sound. I would kind of drive that amp so that I have an overdriven sound on the amp. Meaning I want an overdriven sound to be from the amp directly. Like if I have an orange amp, I would hit the overdrive section to get that overdriven sound instead of utilizing a overdrive pedal, which sometimes doesn't really sound as good as say an overdriven JCM 800 for a matter, or a Ubershaw overdriven Ubershaw. It just sounds totally different. So I have the luxury, I have the luxury to kind of like use all these amps in a Line 6 Helix, so I would utilize it, and I find it works better than utilizing a overdrive pedal. The overdrive pedal only comes in when, like I said, when I'm playing live and I'm using an amp, and most of the time I don't use an amp. So if I do use an amp, like in the studio, or when I'm jamming with Alex in the studio, he has a lot of amps. He has 3 matchless amps, so I could always use the overdriven channel on the matchless amp, and I'll be fine. But if I'm stuck with a Vox amp, for example, and just a clean channel, then I would utilize the overdrive pedal. And the overdrive pedal must be something that I like. I'm very particular about overdriven sound, so it must be something that is warm enough and yet enough to cut through. And the thing is that I've reviewed quite a lot of overdrive pedals through the years, and I must say that they're getting way better than last time. When I first had the Tube Screamer back in those days, I didn't like it. I thought it was a bit harsh, but then we make do with what we have, so that's where the EQ comes in. The EQ pedal, pedals like this, the EQ. So this is where it comes in, and you can kind of like shape your overdriven sound or your overdrive pedal with this EQ pedal. So you are given a choice these days, because you have multi-effects pedals and stuff like that, like the Helix native or the Helix for a matter, or the Fractal or the Camper. You can kind of like get all your favorite sound with just a touch of your foot switch, and it's so convenient. Back in the days, we had to like dance around with our pedals just to get the right sound, because we only have one amp, and the amp just has a clean channel, and you got to play around with everything. And so I thought I'd just touch a little bit about that. Jean-Philippe, it's me again. I just bought a Sire S7. I really like it and wanted a Super Strat. I fell for this one day. I fell for this one by following a YouTuber, Jonathan Cody. Yeah, he's a great player. Do you think it's enough for a lifetime and for all style? Which S7 are you talking about? The single humbucker or the single? The vintage S7? I'm waiting for you, Jean-Philippe. You know, which one are you talking about? The single or the single humbucker? Okay, okay, that'll be good. Yeah, it's enough. Yeah, you can actually have it for a lifetime, no problem. The problem is that when you start have to, the problem is when you have a single, you know, sometimes you want to get like like a real thick sound. You couldn't have it because the bridge pickup. That's the reason why I changed my Nick Johnston, you know, to single humbucker, and they're all like for Pasadenas. You know, I love the Pasadenas. Yeah. So that's the reason why. And even my Luke, my Ernie Ball music man Steve Lukather, Luke has single humbucker EMGs, and that is precisely why the studio, that PRS studio, looks really promising because it's single humbucker. And I'm not going to say that this is a desert guitar, you know. I don't think so, but it's enough to get by. Yeah, it's enough to get by. Jinbin, hi John. How many guitars do you own, and do you play them all or some collectors? Well, the couple of guitars that are really, like, you know, collecting dust, and I can see them. They're just hidden in one corner over there. I feel bad because they're really nice guitars. There's one tally, the black paisley tally that I had from Harley Benton, which I'm considering taking that out and kind of like modding it to be a slide guitar. So, you know, bring up the action a little bit so I can play slide on it on an open D tuning. So that's something I'm thinking of. The reason why I didn't buy the Sire H7 is because I have a really good Tokai ES something. You know, it's like a 335 kind of thing, which I really absolutely love because it just plays really well, and I just love the pickups on those on that guitar. And yeah, sad to say that it's right in front of me. It's in one corner and it's not doing anything. For the rest of pickups, yeah, for the rest of guitars, yes, I do play them. I kind of like try to give them a once roundabout, either in my videos or just playing around at home or in my session. So when I'm doing a session for a recording, I get to choose. Like, you know, sometimes I just, you know, stay away from the PRS. So I'll go with my Strat or my Ernie Balls, or I'll go with my Schecters. The Schecters are great. I feel especially comfortable playing the Schecter live because of the neck. It's a great neck, and for me it's called a non-fatigue neck because I don't get tired with the neck. Certain guitars have that girth, which is good for a time period, but if you're doing a 3-hour concert or 2.5-hour concert, it's gonna like wear you down after a while. So the Schecters are really good for live playing, and I actually love it. So I'm using the Jack Follow tomorrow in church. So it's a great guitar, great neck, and Pasadena pickups. You know. Yeah. So how many guitars do I have? Currently, I have more than 30. I think. Don't tell my wife. It's everywhere. It's like in this room itself, I have like about 22 in this room. So they're all like, you know, very well placed, so you can actually tell. The couple of guitar cases right at the back here, and guitars hanging around. Some are conspicuously hidden. So yeah, and there are some in my bedroom, under the bed, in one corner, because my bedroom is air conditioned, like here. So yeah, so it's pretty dry. And a couple of guitars with my friend, so Jeffrey. So yeah, this is bad. You know, I'm trying to wean myself off. Like one of my friends said, calling to call his guitars. So I probably have to do that sooner. It's okay, Sean. Lee Harris, does the brand name on the headstock ever influence you? No, Never does. Never did. Couldn't be bothered. Um, I I think for me the number one priority would be how I feel when I'm playing the guitar. That's the number one, and the close second would be the sound. What am I hearing? Because I know that I can always change pickups if the sound is really bad. I can always change the pickup, but the feel of the guitar is really important, and that's the reason why I bought the PRSs that I bought, because you guys will probably know that I don't really like PRS guitars. Not all of the guitars, but I love this tree that I have because it just feels great. It just feels right for me, and that's the reason why I bought it. And the pickups are nice too, so yeah, it's a win-win thing. But there's some guitars that I played. Some of them are PRS, and some of them are like other brands that I don't like at all because it just doesn't feel good. Even some of the guitars that been reviewed, in my channel. Some of them are like really great playing guitars, but the pickups are not up to standard, or subpar, or just okay. And there are guitars that don't feel really good, but they sounded really great. So yeah, so you have a mix of all this. So the brand name doesn't really attracts me. I have my Harley Benton, which I love, So my Logify. John, have you ever played For the Love of God from Steve Vai? I'm hoping to practice the song. Well, a little bit here and there. Yeah, every guitarist will want to, we'll try it. Yeah, go for it. Lachandia. Good that you have caught up in my live stream. No giveaway. Sorry. Jabin, I bought a Schecter RJ, alright, and GNL Legacy based on your demos. Thank you for your great content. Everyone needs hiding spots for the guitars as they multiply. Yep. Oh, you bought the Legacy? Cool. I'll play on the Legacy yesterday. Hey, hi, Chad. Thank you, Chad, for the coffee. So, guys, this is Chad Boston. Now, Chad Boston's operate he operates a Facebook page just for Helix users. So alright, Barry, if you're still around, you head down to Facebook and join that group that Chad Boston has. It's called Helix. What is it? Chad, help me out here. What is it called? That group. Hold on. So if you have a Helix, it'll be great to to join this fabulous group, because these guys are so helpful. What's that group called again? Helix something. Oh, Line 6 Helix Family User Group, right? Official and original. So it has like what's the member count now? 37,000 people in that, 37,000 members in that group. So join it, and these guys are all happening. They are so helpful if you need help. And Chet himself, he does skins, for Helix. So if you have a Helix, like Bear, you have a brand new Helix, and you want it to look like a bit different from the stock, contact Chet. He's got his website and everything. So, right. Good to see you, Chet. See, I'll plug you. Yeah. You need to be plugged because you are such a nice fella. You are. And Chet's a wonderful guy. So, yeah. Terrence Ipvai Chin. That's a nice, interesting name. Where you from, Terrence? Hi, John. You got any tips for a beginner? I'm a self-taught guitarist. I'm confused in what to learn next. As in the order. Right now I'm focused on scales and modes. But there's so much info out there. Yep. You fall into the category of some of the young guys who started out guitar playing, and they kind of get lost because this kind of gets overwhelming at times. The thing is, make music, enjoy yourself playing simple stuff. Like it could be just simple stuff, but enjoy yourself playing in time with other people if you have a group, or if you're alone by your lonesome, then play with a backing track, play with songs that you love, and imagination is your best friend. Okay, I'm not asking you to have an imaginative friend. Imagination can be your best friend if you imagine yourself playing with your favorite group and just imagine yourself as part of the band, and you can do one or the other. You can come up parts for yourself, like me. I come up with my own parts, or you can play the parts that's already been recorded and be a guitar hero for a couple of minutes, and this is what kept me going when I was young. I used to be like, you can imagine me sitting alone in my mom's place, in the hall, in the dark, because all of them are like in bed, and I have my headphones on, and I have my vinyl, and I'm playing to Michael McDonald or to Toto or to Eagles, don't matter. I have my headphones on, and I would be playing my guitar, and I would sometimes I would stand up and imagine I'm with a group, and I would be doing the parts that have been recorded by Steve Lukather or by Don Felder or whatever group that I'm listening to. Or sometimes I would just jam along with, say for example, You Keep Forgetting by Michael McDonald. Great rhythm track, a great song to jam. Really, it's a great song to improvise on. So I would have that on, and I would, come up with parts of my own. It's how I improve. And the best part of it is that I get to record all this down on a tape recorder. So I have the opportunity to listen back to what I played, to the parts I created. And that kind of spurred me on into hey, I should try this, I should try that. And that's how I got really interested in doing recordings. And one of my earlier dreams when I first started playing guitar, back when I was 23, 22 years old, was to be a session guitarist. And for me to realize that is such a, how should we say, a really hard journey, because I don't read. I'm not learned. I don't have a teacher. I can't read to save my life. Music, I mean. But God made it possible for me to play in recordings, and found out that, hey dude, all you need to do is to read a basic chord chart and to know where you are at, and that's about it. And I think the more important thing is to keep time, to have a good sense of timing. So that I had, that was some of the gifts that God gave to me. And I think one of it was my ability to improvise on the go, So as the song is playing, I could come up parts, and that's because of what I did when I was younger, right? So when I was playing with all those vinyl recordings, so it kind of helped me in the future. Me when I started playing in sessions in the studio, and the producer came in, and he doesn't write charts for you because he wants you to create something. He wants you to create something new. He doesn't want, unless it's a specific line, then yeah, cool. But I have great ears, so I can hear it off, and I know what to play. And I think in many ways that is better than playing a written out part, because the emotional aspect of it, yeah, you kind of miss that when you're playing by reading. I'm not knocking down readers. I would love to read, seriously. I would have gotten so many jobs if I know how to read lines. But like I said, I learned how to read a chord chart. I learned how my way around the music, no problem. But in the studio, I was called to create stuff, and that's what I did. So in answer to your question, Terrence, you should start doing that. And like I said, imagination is your best friend. All right. The Salo, John, how do you compare the S7 to a PRS S2 594? No way. Very different guitars. Very different guitars. The 594 has a shorter scale length. So the S7 so far, the L7, yeah, 24.7, almost the same, but not the same. Yeah, almost the same, but not the same. You can probably compare the, I guess, 247, yeah, the 247, the PRS 247 with it. You're welcome, Chet. buddy. Terry Clark, why do I keep breaking the high E string when tuning up guitars? It happened on my Jackson, Tally, and Harley Benton. What gauge are you using? Terry. Lee Hanger, desk guitarist. Hi John, greetings from France. Hey, bonsoir. Love your videos, your playing, and your kindness. Merci beaucoup. You know, Terry, it could be because of your gauge, and sometimes it's also because of, I don't know. I break strings, especially in a high string. When I'm tuning up, when I'm stretching the string, sometimes it's because somehow along, you know, along the bridge, there is a knife point. There's a knife pivot that cuts. I don't know, that causes tension, and you have string breakage sometimes because of that. But to have it happening on trio guitars is kind of like, kind of crazy, you know. So I would check about your gauge. If you have too light a gauge, that's probably why. Yeah. I'm hungry. Oh, it should be okay. Yeah, I use tens. You love hearing my stories. Well, they're not stories. They're like, you know, they actually happen. So you get around to it. You know, all of us grow old. Yeah, I was I was a young lad. You know, so that's why I had a ball of time meeting up with Alex, my former boss, because we spoke about how it was when I was young, and you know, he'll remember certain things which I forget. You know, and how we kind of like went through all these years and having all these experiences and getting married, kids, you know, getting old, and all the experiences that I have, you know, playing in front of a 70,000 crowd, you know, how I was nervous, you know, how I wanted to poop. I always wanted to poop. You know, I was so nervous that I just need to go to the toilet and poop. My first show, many years ago, and how I got past that stage fright, and but then again, you know, appearing in front of a big stadium, a crowd, like, you know, and doing a vocal, doing a song in front of them, that got my knee shaking for a while, for a couple of minutes, like 1 or 2 minutes. And after that, when I started going, everything was cool. So all these experiences you're gonna have, every one of you out here, you're gonna have all these experiences. You know, that's life. You know. Bear, one thing is for sure: as we age, change will occur. Nothing remains the same. Obviously, nothing will remain the same. Yeah, things will happen, like, you know, crazy. Some good, some bad. So, you know, Terrence, love your content. I feel grateful you are taking your time to talk with us. Thank you so much. Your Hakka. Okay, great. Are you from Singapore, Terrence, or are you from somewhere else? I'm hungry. I'm thinking about my spam. How many of you guys here are like fans of spam? I have mine in the fridge, so I got to defrost it. Sometimes it's too near the vent, so it gets like frozen up. Yeah. So I had to defrost it. And then I pop it into the oven, pop in my bread later on to get a little bit toasted, and then that'll be just nice, you know. Stuff G, Terry, maybe you are doing it too fast. Yeah, that's a good part. That's a possibility. Yeah, you gotta like really slowly ease up to your E, you know. I'm hungry and I'm tired. You guys got any more questions for me before I knock off? Anything at all? You guys need prayers or anything like that? Just let me know. Can pray together. Metal needs time to stretch. Yes, that's true. I got one of these, like, you know, I bought this like a couple of weeks ago, I guess, a couple of months ago. You know, string winder. Yeah, I don't know why I bought this for, you know, just for the novelty of it. But it's pretty slow, if you think about it. It's not really fast. But I gotta be careful because it gets, you know, if it gets over, you know, the limit, you might break a string. So you gotta be really careful about this. And you can, like, you know, go clockwise, anti-clockwise, so that's pretty cool. Sure, David. I'm gonna go. The Salo, what is your view on software simulation versus modelers like Kemper and Helix? Is there any real differences from your experience? Alright, they're the same. Basically, they're the same. The plugins that you have, like the guitar rigs or the amplitude, I use all of them. They're basically the same on a hardware format, like, you know, the Kempers and the Helix. They're basically the same. It's the only difference is the IOs, like, you know, the analog to digital converters. You know, how good it translates into audio signal. That's the only difference. So I've used guitar rigs and amplitude on my arrangements before when I'm programming, and for my sessions sometimes. In the earlier days, it wasn't that good. You know, you can still hear the digital artifacts to it, but it kind of got better through the years, and it kind of got more analog sounding. And for all the matter, when Line 6 first came out with their Pod Pro or whatever they call it in the multi effects, and then they came up with the Line 6 X3 and then the HD 500. So those were pretty good, actually, for that time period. We're talking about 2010, around that, 2010 or 2005. I used them on concerts, and no one can tell the difference. They thought I was playing through an amp. It was, you know, the technology was there, you know. And then came the Helix. So the Helix is like the latest iteration of the Line 6 evolution of mic simulations and cap simulators. So together with the Kempers and everything. But I still find there are certain digital artifacts. If you are listening to a headphone or you're listening up close with a good pair of monitor speakers, you can still hear that digital artifact. But it's getting better. So it depends on your IRs, impulse responses. So it depends on which IRs you have, you know. So you got to kind of like search for the holy grail of IRs. So you get the right IRs and you stick with it, and the rest is peachy. You know, you can get by with almost everything. And then again, you have to be a sort of a nerd head, because you're gonna like pair your certain IRs with certain cap heads. So if you're using a twin reverb head, you will want something that sounds like a traditional twin reverb or speaker. You know, whatever they're using a 112 or 212s or whatever. Or if you're using a JCM 800 head, you want the greenbacks, you know, so, or a better IR representation of the greenback. So you have to be a bit of a nerd to do that. For me, I'm more of a pragmatic guy, so I don't want to waste like hours like figuring out what suits what. I just depend on my ears. So whatever I'm playing, you know, I'm just using an IR that I want, and whatever hits that goes through, I will tweak accordingly with the IRs. And so I will just go with the amp settings, and then if I needed more tweaking, then I'll go for my EQ. And most of the time I get the right sound. So yeah. Staff G. John, have you ever tested the Harley Benton HB35 Plus? No, not yet. Yeah, that was one of the guitars that I thought I would try, but didn't have the chance to. So, David Jones, hi, sending you lots of love and blessing, brother, from the UK. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. I have a affection for the UK. Well, firstly because Singapore used to be a colony of the UK, but I have a love-hate relationship with the British. They kind of left us in the lurch in World War II. In case you don't know, I'm sure you do. But I have an affection for London, for especially. You know, I love London. I visited there once and I totally fell in love with it. I love the fact that we are all driving in the same direction. Yeah, so right-hand drive, you know. And when I was in London, I was looking at the trees along the road, and it's so familiar because then I found out that some of the trees that are in London are actually being planted in Singapore. So we actually share the same forage, you know, more or less, so to speak, same trees and some same greeneries for most of the country. So it was pretty interesting. And then there's the food, you know, and yeah. So, thank you. Lee Harris, I was about to spend, how much? £900 on a Tone Master. I put Bias MT on my Mac, and now have no interest in the Tone Master. The thing is, you have to understand the IOs, the analog to digital converters, are very important. So if you're talking about a Tone Master twin reverb amp, you will want to mic the amp out, you know, even though it has cap sim out. It would just sound totally different. Like, you know, this amp sounds great, you know, moving air, like it sounds great. And if I were to mic this up with a good mic, it would sound really good. But then it has a cap sim out too. And no matter how, the cap sim will not measure up to what is being captured with a mic. You get what I mean? Because it's still digital, in the digital domain. So it depends on how they design that cap sim out. Because if they have really good digital to analog converters, then it will be great. So you have to be really careful, or not careful, you have to think about this through, because a Tone Master, no matter what, will sound great mic'd out. But if you can get by with your guitar rig, like how I got by with my Helix Line 6 plugin, fine, you know, just stay with it, because after all, you know, whatever translated through your speakers, through what you're hearing, if it sounds decent, then that's the thing. So we have guys who buy, like, you know, incredible sounding amps at premium prices, you know, they spend you know, their grandfather's inheritance on those wonderful amps, and they don't mic it out the right way and totally spoil the whole thing. You know, it just doesn't make sense. Like, you could have a matchless amp, but if you mic it out the wrong way, or you're using different mics or an inferior quality mic, or yeah. So that's why we have engineers. That's why there's a need for good engineers, good recording engineers, guys who know what they are doing. And a good engineer will mic out a small little amp, a Hardy Benton amp, and make it sound good. That's what a good engineer would do. So it's something to think about. Thank you, Logify. Are you reminding me that I should just go to sleep, go to bed? So it's 2 a.m. I gotta wake up at 7:30. I have 5 hours of sleep, I guess. I'm fine actually. I just wake up as a zombie and go through rehearsal, come back, take a nap, do another video. Yeah. But I'm hungry. I just need something to eat. So okay, so if you guys got no more questions, I'll be off my merry way. And let me just say a short prayer for all you guys. All right. So I thank you, Jesus, for today, for tonight. Lord, you have brought a lot of newcomers to this live stream, and I thank you for it. Lord, I pray that you watch over all of them, that you will grant protection to all of them. And again, Lord, we pray for Ukraine, that, Lord, you will bring peace to that land, and that, Lord, that you take, you protect them, Lord, those innocents, Lord, the innocent civilians, and even the Russian soldiers that are fighting there, Lord. I just pray that this madness will end, Lord, and lives will be safe. But in the meantime, Lord, I just pray that you take care of those who are in this live stream, that, Lord, that you watch over them and their families, Lord. And may you grant them peace, Lord, and joy when they are making music, Lord. Thank you, Lord. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Thanks, Logify. Jean-Philippe, on the same subject, do you have headphones to suggest to translate the feeling of the amp? And do you paint or draw or practice another form of art? That's a couple of questions. I use headphones. My favorite pair of headphones is the Sony 7506, right? So this is a Sony 7506. I have two of this. The only thing about this headphones is that the padding, they can't give way really fast because they are made of like artificial leather. Doesn't last very long. So what I did was I bought these are all original leather paddings from another company. They cost a little bit, but I think it's worth it because in the long run it's going to save you money. So yeah, so I do listen to headphones when I'm recording acoustic guitar. Only when I'm recording acoustic guitar, and when I'm miking out my amp. So that's the only time. Most of the time I'm hearing whatever I'm playing through my home monitor speakers. So that's the most important thing. And do I paint or draw? No, I don't. Music is my only art form. Yeah, I used to paint. I used to draw a little bit when I was younger, but I kind of gave that up. I think I paint now with my music. Yeah, I like to paint. Like when I do arrangements or when I produce an album, I like to paint on this canvas with music, like with the different arrangements and different instruments. So that's my form of painting, I guess. Yeah. All right. So you guys take care. Be safe. God bless all of you. I'll see you soon. Bye.